What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Resellers Podcast. And joining me, as always, in this locker room, we have got Archie, the buttery biscuit bud.
What's up?
Then we have Alex, the Beard King Picker. And, of course, we have Mr. Malkovich, a.k.a. Brandon 540 Flips. Welcome in to the locker room, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
Hey, I just want to thank you guys for letting me come back, because usually I get invited only one time. I don't get re-invited, so I'm breaking new grounds here today.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
No room for that.
They're new waters.
New ground, right? Hey, guys, how's everybody been doing this week?
Pretty good.
Good until I realized I only sold one thing and I lost it.
You can't find it?
No, I can't find it.
Uh-oh.
We can't talk about that on here. This has got to be PG.
Take your shades off. Maybe that's first place to start.
Dude, you're going to have to cancel that order, and that's going to be a strike on your account. Snap.
No, it's not. Just
it's that stupid library system that you guys told me about. It doesn't work. I tried it, and it's not working at all. I tried a whole new system, and you guys threw me off.
He's blaming it on Dewey.
You know, it's been quite a busy last several days since we've gathered back together here in the locker room. For those that are listening to the audio version, we want to welcome you in to the Resellers Locker Room Podcast. And also the viewers that we have, we got to give some big shout outs here, fellas. We've got a lot of new folks joining us here in the locker room. How about 47 new subs just in the last time we filmed a show? So how about we give a shout out to all those guys, huh?
Yep. All family members.
Appreciate
Thank you very much. We love
That's
you.
Right. Cousins, aunts, and uncles.
Yeah.
Your family still claims you? Like mine is all
money for all those
me.
views and subs, huh?
Yeah, I even went door to door through my whole neighborhood putting flyers on it. Please.
A lot of cash to get those big names to leave comments too.
Yeah, I put flyers on neighbors' doors that if you will sub, I'll rake the leaves out of your yards for you. You know, that took a lot of work, by the way.
Well, apparently we are the Out of the Closet podcast. So,
Malkovich just came out of the dark closet.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, we want to welcome all of our new subscribers. We hope you'll continue to enjoy this infotainment, which Alex has coined that phrase right before we came on air. Infotainment is how we're going to classify our content here in the locker room. So, guys.
Info coming from you guys, tainment here, maybe.
Well, info is all questionable, right? I mean, depends on where it's coming Subjective. All right. Well, you know what we want to do? We want to jump into this main topic here, fellas, and it's one that I'm pretty excited about because I know a lot of us like doing this, as well as other resellers, and that is ways to source and how do you buy? Do you buy onesie twosies, or do you like to go in and do a bulk buy deal, make a big pile and make one price for all? So anybody that wants to start us off, let's get going on this subject on ways to source. Who wants to go first?
You guys start. Y'all kept saying I'm blowing my load, so I'm going to let y'all start, and then I'm going to pop the cork.
Alex, you go up.
Yeah, it depends on what it is. For me, if it's books and I'm going to a yard sale, instead of sitting there and scanning every book individually, I only need to find one profitable book. If I find one, $20 book, I feel comfortable asking or giving 20 for all the books. So I rather do a bulk deal, but not 20. I do not. That's way too high for me. More like $1 for all of it. But I'll try to just do bulk buys. It's a lot easier when it comes to books because you'll be there for hours if you scan every book or look it up. So I like doing the bulk buys and try to do buyouts going into estate sales.
Well, let me ask you something. Now, is books is your bread and butter, correct?
Yes. Like 90% of my store is all books.
Okay. Do you have any plans of venturing off into other things, or are you pretty much going to be on the track of the bookworm?
I have slowly been focusing on totally niching to books. So I have my death pile. Like during Q4, I probably will sell toys because I already have tons of toys and I have clothing. So I will list all that stuff, but I'm still trying to buy mostly books. It makes listing and packing, if you niche down for me, I only need 2 or 3 boxes if I'm only selling, books. So it makes shipping very easy. Shipping's cheap.
The return rate is probably slim to none. So
I've never had a book returned on eBay.
Knock on wood.
I don't even think I've sold or I've had returns on Amazon with books either. And I've sold hundreds of books on Amazon.
That's an advantage for sure.
You can say that about Amazon, then you're in the right niche, whatever. Is it niche or niche? I say niche.
Don't ask me.
Niche.
I won't ever just only do books. Like I can't pass up like a cool vintage toy or stuff like that. So I don't know. I can't say I'm only doing books, but when I go out, I'm looking for books, but I'm also looking for plush because I am doing a whatnot on Friday night plush. Little plug there for my show. So we're doing all plushies on whatnot.
Nice.
So, but I can get books for, a quarter, and I can get plushies for a quarter at yard sales or 50 cents under anything, under $1, which will work good for a whatnot.
Alex, which you've mentioned this before, you don't know how engaging and entertaining a whatnot show selling books would be, but I feel like you ought to at least try it on some of the ones you're not going to list and just see what happens. See what happens.
Yeah, I might do a show before like my official show because I'm just trying to figure out how to do whatnot. So I'm not sure. I've already set up my show, but I'm not sure how to launch each item and start the bidding and change the time and everything.
The best way for you is just to read the entire book, and then that gives everybody enough time to place bids and decide if they want that book.
Do you know how long it would take me to read like 2 sentences? I'm dyslexic, so I'd start reading it backwards first, and then get to the.
You'll sell one.
I do have a question.
We do the next podcast. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
So you said you've never had a return on a book. How do you actually describe the book? Do you just go off like what it says? I like the old books. It doesn't have the little synopsis on the back, right?
The preface.
How do you
There's
tell
this
them
new
what the book
technology called AI, and I write all my stuff through AI. My descriptions.
You do AI descriptions?
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
For eBay.
How much of it do you have to edit? Because that's the issue I've had with the whole AI description.
You don't have to edit any of it. If you don't check it, you don't have to edit it.
And you don't get any returns? Because that's a return waiting to happen.
He blames it on eBay.
How many people read the description on eBay?
The ones that are going to return?
I don't accept their offers then.
I need to go to your school of reselling.
Yeah, I've checked the AI sometimes, and it is a little bit off, so I just delete it and fix it. A couple words here and there. Like I listed a whole bunch of Legos, and they were like talking about like it was the whole Lego set, and I'm just selling the figurine because I just bought out a whole lot of figures. It's like $5, and they're all like $9 to $16 each. So
yeah,
let me tell you that one, and I offered them a quarter for all of them.
I would not be your ideal customer, Alex, because I've probably not cracked a book since college. That's saying something. I don't even read the instructions. When I buy new stuff, I don't even read the instructions. I just start going at it and figure it out.
Me either.
You know what I mean?
I did not read the instructions.
By the way, is it creek or creek? How do y'all say it? Creek or creek? No, it ain't. It's
going down to the creek.
Creek. Oh, I forget. You're in Vegas, dude. Y'all are in a different climate.
No. I grew up in Kansas. In Kansas, we called it the creek. Out west, it's the creek.
Crick is what you get in your neck when you sleep on it wrong. I got a crick in my neck. That's what that is. It's creek. 2 E's. Creek.
Well, don't sleep on your neck wrong and you won't get a creek.
All right, Brando. What about you, dude?
Well, I said I was going to go last. Y'all go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Archie.
Y'all want me to pop the top?
Yeah, pop that mother.
So I mainly source on a lot of the local platforms. So I'll actually go on OfferUp and Facebook and the Nextdoor app and just really, I try to buy bulk through those platforms. So I do keywords a lot. So I'll do keywords like for cassettes, vinyl, the word lot I actually have as a keyword. So I try to buy collections, but when I do buy something from someone, I always go into their profile and see what else they're selling to see if there's something else that I might be able to get from them to resell. And a lot of, I got to tell you, probably at least 50% of the time, I do multiple buys from the same seller that way. And I'm actually able to get things less. So
everybody needs to also know real quick. Yeah, everybody needs to also know you go into that profile because you want to see if they're single.
That is true sometimes.
Yep.
But
secrets, we sharing the secrets.
Do you have it email you when it hits your keyword when someone posts something? Because I know in some of the apps you can do that. Like I can set mine up to
it's just a notification. So I just get the notification from whatever platform. But
when the keyword that you have in there, because I can put books, and anything that has books is going to email me that someone posted about books.
In the title or description, I believe.
Yeah.
But OfferUp is really the only one that I actually get the keywords, but then I'll just do that for Facebook Marketplace and Nextdoor. I'll just go in and have to just type that in. But so that's what I do on those. And then, garage sales, I think we all try to bundle as much as we can. It's rare that I'm really just looking for one item, but I mean, I do, but I really do, because obviously you want the bang for your buck. And then estate sales. I mean, it's tough at estate sales though, because you can't talk them people down on anything. And just the online auction.
Unless you go on the last day.
Last day, 50% off
too.
Yeah,
you can still ask 50% off on the first day.
I think going the last day is a waste of time. Just like here, Sunday garage sales. I will never go to a garage sale on a Sunday because what's the purpose?
Stuff that people pass up,
first one there.
Yeah, but I found some good stuff last day.
Well, then maybe I'll try it one day. But
yeah, they're willing to, especially if it's an estate sale company. On the last day, they're willing to bargain because it's their job
to get rid of everything.
They got to get it cleared out of there. And, believe it or not, there is people in public that are not resellers that pass up on stuff that's bank that they don't know about. And that's the last day of an estate sale. You can get in there and maximize your buying dollars. At least that's been my experience.
You can still make deals on the first day, though.
Yeah.
If you go in there and say, I'm going to buy every book, but at half price, I usually get it half off on the first day.
If I'm going to buy every book. Again, I'm not trying to make it sound like Vegas is more competitive than anywhere else, but I mean, you go to an estate sale here on the first day. I mean, there's a line out the door, which I know it's probably in every city, but these people here, I mean, they don't budge. At least not with me. I mean, maybe I'm weak and, I don't, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's just pointless. I really try to stay away from estate sales. I do a lot of online estate sales. I have a lot more success with those, but yeah. So
yeah, I'm doing that auction right now, a big old book lot, and I'm actually winning on all of them. So
congrats.
I'm going to not bid until someone else bids like the last day, and then hopefully I can steal all of them. So
snipe.
I'm going to try the sniper thing. I don't know. I'm thinking it's going to be like eBay and people snipe on those.
All right, Rocky Top. We always miss you. How about you?
Yeah, actually.
Stop hiding in the corner. Go ahead.
To rewind of last week, we didn't talk about your story. We totally forgot that. So I think we should hear how you got into reselling, because we didn't hear that last week.
Okay. Well, I was focused on you guys. I got to take care of my teammates.
That definitely shows that he's the oldest.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, believe it or not, I've got many backgrounds. I've done many things. I went to college, physical therapy, And when I got out of college in the area I lived in, at the time there was no money in it, and unless I went to a big metropolitan city. So switched gears, went into finance, worked for Citibank for 10 years, worked 9 to 5 behind a desk, 9 to 5 there for 10 plus years, $27.50 an hour, full benefits. Good little small office about a mile from where I live. 2008, when the economy tanked, they closed the office. I mean, they gave us no notice. They did give us a severance package. Long story short, at the time I was mobile DJing on a side hustle to make some side money. Decided to roll the dice.
That's a shocker.
Yeah. So I
was
decided,
it DJing or was it concerts?
You only
were
played
you doing
butt rock.
concerts? We heard something about you doing concerts.
Mobile DJ.
Oh, please tell us, what was your DJ name?
DJ B.
What?
That was it. Yeah. No, nothing flashy.
You see those
DJ
speakers
B.
back there? Some JBLs right there. I got 2 of those, 15 stacks.
So, I jumped into that arena. I was already doing high school proms. I was doing corporate events, all kinds of things. And done that for many a year. And 2011 was my best year DJing. I made $86,000 that year mobile DJing.
Wow.
And then 2012 came along, and there was a wedding venue the next town up from here, Jonesboro, Tennessee, which is the oldest town in Tennessee, very historical. The lady that had a wedding venue was retiring. Somehow the owner of the building caught my name that I went around and done a lot of weddings and events, asked if I'd be interested. So I took over the wedding venue. Kind of quit hitting the road DJing at that point because I got to do all my events at my own place. So it kept me from having to haul equipment around. So I did weddings from 12 to 2018, converted that into a restaurant after that, the Jonesboro Barrel House, where we did barbecue. We had live bands. We had 4 live shows a week, full bar. So I've done a lot of things. Yeah, I've done a lot of things, been self-employed since 2008. And, kind of my reselling history kind of goes back to 1995. And that's when we were in the days of internet dial-up, where it took like 5 minutes to get connected and you hear the
Wait, there's a better way to do that?
Yeah, it's not like
the internet you're still on, huh?
Yeah. So it was dial-up internet days, guys. And I remember running across the eBay website. Now, this is when they were auction only. They had less than 1,000 items for sale on eBay. And I remember getting addicted to that site from day one because I started bidding on stuff. I mean, this was brand new to everybody. Nobody's even heard of this. So I found myself, when I got home, I'd jump on the computer and all I would do is sit and watch auctions and look at where I'm at in my bids and all that. So off and on, I piddled with a little selling. Good Lord, selling back then, guys, is nothing like it is now. If you think you're challenged by shipping and all that today, it is. We were doing, if you wanted to buy something, you had to ship off a money order before you even get your product. And it usually took 2 or 3 weeks to get your stuff because shipping had no mandates of how fast a seller had to ship their item out like it is today. Now you need to do at least a day, 2 day, 3 or 4 or 5 day turnaround. There was no rule on turnaround. So it could be 2 or 3 weeks before you even get your stuff. So eBay, I've seen it's come a long way, and that's goes without saying that all this stuff you hear, all the channels and all of us talking about the eBay problems. This is growing pains, gentlemen, plain and simple. And this is a bigger machine than what our simple minds want to really go to. I mean, we think they can just fix something just like that. It's not that easy. And so eBay afforded me.
Things seem so much simpler 20 years ago.
No, it's so much harder 20 years ago. I mean, you can ask Kevin, you need to ask Kevin this because he'll tell you the same thing. I mean, looking back, the processes were simpler, sure. You're not held more accountable back then as you are now. But let me tell you, man, the buy it now, when that thing started, that was a revelation. I'm like, what is this? You can buy something now instead of having to bid on it and wait 7 days to see if you
Did you have to pay? now than you bought it?
I never had a non-paying cashier check. So there we go.
Yeah, I mean, if you bought an item, Alex, you had to they introduced PayPal, and that was a brand new thing that everybody was scared to death of by putting in their banking information on the interweb. Yeah. But you had to mail a money order off, and you're going on good blind faith that person ain't going to rip you one by not sending your item to you, because there wasn't any consequences back then as there is today. So
that's crazy. They used to be the wedding singer.
Used to do the wedding thing, brother. Yeah, I could marry you. The only thing I couldn't do is bury you, which, It's funny, though. In the DJ days, I got hired on a couple of different occasions to do divorce parties, especially the wives, dude. Wives would call ex-wives, hey, man, I'm getting divorced. I want to have all my girlfriends. We want to have a DJ, so we did divorce parties.
It's getting divorced. Can you do a burial and party?
Oh, man. I can tell you what, I got a good buddy of mine that owns a funeral home, so at that time I could marry you and then he could bury you. So
I want to hear about some of the after parties at those divorce parties.
Dude, crazy times, man. I mean, it's supposed to be family oriented. We're supposed to be on reselling. I can't get into all that, but anyway, check out my channel though, Rocky Top Picker on YouTube.
I used to put on concerts and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
So I have all the speakers behind me.
But when I really got going, just like I've put out a couple of videos on this subject, any of the newbies that's watching, start with what you have. And that's where I started. I was a big collector of everything. A lot of it I'm still holding on to. A lot of it I've learned to let go of. When I found out the sold comps on half the stuff I've got, I just saw dollar signs, and that means more to me than holding on to them and taking up space. So I started with what I had and just kind of started cleaning house. And here we are today in 2023 in the locker room with you fine gentlemen. That's my story.
Interesting. Okay, so now you got to go into your buy habit.
Now my buying habits is easy. A lot of people criticize Goodwill because their pricing structure has changed. To me, it doesn't bother me a bit. And here's a case in point. And as a matter of fact, this will be my, when we get into the sale of the week, because my sales have been kind of, bought a ladies' leather bomber jacket at our local Goodwill, which is a mile down the road from me. $7.99. And it just sold for $45 plus shipping.
That's very cheap.
Some people say that you still can't make profit off of Goodwill, and I beg to differ, gentlemen.
Do you think less people are sourcing there, so it's actually easier now because people are scared of the prices, so they're just not even going there anymore? So if you do the work and actually look up things, you can find.
It could be, but it could be, but here's the deal. That's a good point, Alex. And this is what I noticed through the spring and summer here where I live. The Goodwills and the thrift stores, the traffic in and out of them has been kind of light. And here's the only reason I can think why that is. Not necessarily because the pricing structure's changed, but there's yard sales, garage sales, a lot more sales going on. But let me tell you something. When the weather turns and the yard sale, garage sale season dries out around here, that's going to be the only viable places some resellers go to is the Goodwill and thrift. And that's what I do. As far as sourcing, I can go into Goodwill. Last time I was in there was a couple of weeks ago. I dropped $101 on items that I found in there and made 3 times that back already. Nice. So, it's a good viable source, the Goodwill stores. I'm not fortunate to have a Benz in my area, but, I would love an opportunity to go hit one of those.
Travel 2 hours and we can go to the Benz.
We're going to go to the Benz in Nashville. That's right. We can do that. But I like buying bulk. My biggest bulk deal was the golf club covers. I bought 536 covers, and how I found that was on Facebook Marketplace. Pulled up to this guy's house. He opened up his double car garage, and let me tell you something. Nothing but he kept no cars in it. A sea of golf clubs, all in golf bags. I mean, you had to crawl over them to get into the garage.
Was he a reseller? Why do you have so many golf clubs, or did he own a shop?
He buys out golf equipment stores. Oh. Yeah. Uh-huh. And he just sells on Marketplace. Older gentleman. So I responded to his ad for all these covers. Show up. I go through them. There's all kinds of Nike covers in there. What is it? Scotty Cameron covers, which bring high dollar money. Anyway, long story short, I did $450 bulk buy on that. Plus he threw in 4 Nike golf clubs. Mm. And, Nike quit making golf equipment in 2016. So anything Nike, ladies and gentlemen, that's golf related, you want to go after because the sell-through rate is really, really good. So out of the first 19 covers that I sold, I made my money back. And I still have 400 plus covers to get listed. So bulk buy for me is
start listing.
Yeah. Bulk buy for me is where it's at, gentlemen. So Brando, what about you, my friend?
All right. So I'm actually the one that kind of wanted to bring this up and bring the topic.
Oh, you're low.
Because I have an issue with it. Like, I feel I don't know how to contain my buys. And if it was a golf club cover buy where you spent $400, so what, right? Small buy. I bought all those die-cast NASCAR. I paid $350 for it. I made my money back quick. But then when you get into a buy that is $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, or even better, you mentioned the wintertime coming up. I could probably not source for the next year and still have enough stuff to list and keep my store running, right? Me and her tag team this weekend, didn't go outsourcing Saturday or Sunday. I went to an estate sale I told you guys about Friday. By the way, if you can ever get into an estate sale before the day it starts, there was probably a lot of pissed off people because I was allowed to go over to this estate sale. And again, here where this issue comes in, all this stuff, no competition. What do you want for this? What do you want for this? And there was no prices. And then this lady starts spieling these prices out. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll take this. I'll take this. I wound up with like 10 cast iron skillets, about 30 pieces of Corningware, 10 Pyrex bowls, some knick-knack, like stuff that isn't even in my wheelhouse. But when she's telling you $100 for a stack of cast iron, what are you supposed to do? No, thanks. I'm going to walk away. But every time, even though I know these buys are good, I know there's profit to be made there, the issue I have is I get home, I unload, I bring the stuff in, I look around and I'm like, what the heck did I just do? I have all this other stuff. And then you get like this overwhelming feeling, even though you know there's money sitting there. But it's like, I didn't even work off the last buy yet. And now I just added more to it. It starts making you spin in circles and not even know where to even begin. And that's the part I wanted to talk about because it's great getting those buys. It's great knowing you got money sitting there. But it's also, we all know, if we're not listing the items, if the items aren't selling, you're not making a dime off of the items. So it's pretty sitting there, but it's got to start, you got to start getting it listed and selling it too. So, y'all would probably flip if you seen how much death pile I have. I actually talked to Mike, Death Pile Picker, and I showed y'all like my storage room. All them totes, that's just clothes. I have tote full of Department 56 stuff. I spent $3,000 on kilts. On Scottish kilts. Okay. I haven't listed the first kilt. I don't even know anything about kilts, but there is a ton of kilts there.
So, oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah. I got inventory for days, fellas. And I bought damn near a full truckload, like a trailer load of video games.
You have $3,000 wrapped up in men's skirts.
Dude. I got one to fit you. Tell me what color you want.
Black and
guarantee I have one to fit you. Right. I got the little pouch things. I got the boots. I even got a freaking bagpipe. I don't know if it's all there, but I got a bagpipe.
You have a bagpipe.
Why are you teasing us by telling us? Why are you not wearing this?
Yeah, get the bagpipe.
I don't know.
Corn.
Like,
hey, dude. Hey, you got to ship us each one of these. You got to ship us one of each to each one of us here.
Y'all think I'm joking?
No, I ain't. Hey, listen, we'd wear them. We'd wear them on the show. You send them.
Buy a black green one.
Here's the thing, though. No joke. So it sounds silly, right? But go look up kilts. Like they do sell. They sell for decent money. And if I ever get time and around
to
it,
sell if you list them though. You have 3.
That's my point.
Wrapped up in them.
Good point.
You have to find a happy medium. Like I understand that you don't want to pass up on a deal, but $3,000 is a lot of money wrapped up in some things.
Yeah. No,
I do bulk buys of books, but I'm only in a couple cents every book. But I still feel overwhelmed.
I'll give you an example.
I got to go through all the books.
I spent $2,400 about 2 years ago on 10,000 comics. Okay,
did you list those?
Just wait. The thought was, and I've heard this before. Well, I'm into them for X amount. For me, I was into them 24 cents a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Thought is, oh well, if I just sell them for $1 a piece, I just made what 4x my money. If I just sell them for $1 a piece. But when you get them, you're like, wait a second, how am I getting rid of 10,000 comics at $1 each?
You gotta
right?
Bundle those together.
Well, I sat on them for 2 years, and I wound up selling them all 10,000. Believe it or not, in 24 hours on Facebook Marketplace for $3,000. So just sitting on them, I actually made a $600 profit and didn't have to do anything with them. But that's one of those thoughts. And I think we can get sucked into that as resellers. Like sometimes the buys are good. Golf club covers, he's made his money back. He's got profits just sitting there. There's buys that are smart, but then there's buys that after you get it. And this is why I think it's a good topic and people should think about it when they're in that moment. Not all buys are good.
No, you see all that cat food back there? That's like $1,200 just in cat food.
Cat food.
Oh, I can see boxes.
It's all boxes.
I ain't buying your cat food.
Dude, you're the only one I know that resells cat food and books. That's such a good combination.
I might be the only one that's got kilts.
Let me ask you guys.
Anybody buying a kilt on YouTube?
So let me ask you guys this. Speaking of death piles, because we could talk till we're blue in the face about
death piles,
because everybody has a death pile in some shape or form. We all do.
I have one of them 3 floors.
Do you guys have items in your draft bank?
Yeah.
Waiting to launch for a rainy day?
Yeah.
How many items?
I gotta look.
Me and her actually this weekend.
There's a point that I have to this because
I have 114 waiting to launch.
Why? It's a digital death pile. You can't sell it if it's just sitting in your.
Sounds like a band name.
Now I get it. Everybody wants to save. Everybody wants a draft bank because something happens. You go on vacation. I get all that, but you can plan for that. But that's 147 items that you cannot sell that you're just sitting on, but you've already done all the work for it. It's a digital death pile. I argue with people about this all the time. Why do people keep items?
But if you believe that you need to keep feeding eBay every day, the algorithm, so you're doing 5-10 listings to keep the computer system happy. That's what the digital death pile is for.
Yeah.
So basically,
you're gone, you can launch it.
Again, I get all that, but you're not always going on vacation. You're not always taking days off.
Cool.
My
Kevin
point is,
always going on vacation. I don't know.
I'll tell you.
I don't know.
Real quick. So this past weekend, that's exactly what me and my wife did. She works full time, so she doesn't get a lot of time to help me, but she wants to help, help out with the listing and stuff like that. And so she helped me this weekend. That's all we did. We created listings in the draft bank with, photos, everything. We can just go in and pop them out. The reason that we did that, because I'm the same way. I also, like, when something's ready to go, I want to just throw it up. The reason that we left that I'm keeping some in there is because, being that I have to do most of this, if I want to go out during the week to source, or if I'm doing, I do the sports card grading and stuff. If I have that I have to work on too, I can't really get into doing listings plus shipping the items out plus this. There's not enough hours in the day. So that gives me stuff that I can schedule out that day, and it gives me a little bit of cushion. So
I get all that, but I'm going to use your example still, Ben. You have 147 items. You are banking on the fact that you're going to need those for a rainy day, when that's 140 items that you could be making money on right now, all because you think you need to feed the beast. You can have 5 items in your bank and just list one a day. You're still feeding the beast.
Dude, do you know who you sound like? You know who you sound like? You sound like Scott. I can't even believe I said that. Anyway, let me tell you my
Scott Steiner? Scott who?
Let me tell you my philosophy on this. I have done this long enough to know that the algorithm likes account activity. That's obvious. There's a lot of people that start eBay. They'll throw a couple items on there and then they don't list nothing for 6 months. Well, what do you think eBay does to their search results? Pushes them to the bottom. Well, activity is what I know.
They're not a full-time reseller. If you're a full-time reseller, you're listing every day pretty much.
But here's the deal. I don't list every day. I take one solid day and I do all my listing. The rest of the time frees me up not being in front of this computer.
That's great, but you need 147 items that you're not making money on right now.
When you're dropping one item every hour for 24 hours straight. 24-hour activity.
I have a question.
Sure. It rolls. It rolls.
Yes, you in the corner. Yeah, the corner.
So you said his 147 in his draft bank is crap, right? What about my 1,400 or whatever that aren't in the draft bank? Does that give me a pass because I haven't put in the work to put them in the draft bank yet?
No, it does not give you a pass.
My point is, the difference is you've already done the work on what's in your draft bank. And as far as activity, if you're not going to do something one day, you can just end and sell some items. It's the same thing. As long as you're doing something activity-wise.
Okay.
But my point is we're here to make money. And if you have 100 and some items that are just sitting in a draft bank that, again, you've done all the work for, you've done all the research, you've done all the picture taking, you've done everything to get it listed, you're not making money on it.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. And
a death pile is different. A death pile you haven't even done work on. We're just lazy. That's my point.
Yeah.
So we don't deserve to make money on that. But if you've already done the work, just get it listed. You can, like I say, you can still do other activity to keep the account health going.
Yeah. I mean, I totally get where you're coming from.
But 10 items, 15 items, I get that too in the draft bank because that's what I do.
But you have to understand that 147 isn't a constant roll on. It's not set and stagnant every day. It's constantly rolling on, and I'm adding more in.
Like deodorant.
Regardless, it's still 147 items that could be making money. Or let's just say 130 items that could be making money.
And I'll tell you this. This brings up another little.
Guys, tell us what you think in the chat.
Yeah, tell us what you think about what we're talking about in the chat. And then I want to know about this too down in the comments. If any of you have experienced an unusual high number of returns since we switched over to Ground Advantage, please let us know down in the comments. Let me tell you something. Do you suffer? And I have, guys. I'm being honest with you now. I have suffered a complex to where I've gotten 4 returns in 1 week, and I have become gun shy on listing any new things whatsoever because I'm scared the next time I hear my phone go off, it's going to be another return. I have suffered from that. And that is real. I want to know how many other sellers out there have experienced that. And some blow off returns, no big deal. It's just part of this business. Right. But I had a return last week, gentlemen, for over $450 plus shipping. That's kind of like, man, I really don't. I'm getting gun shy on listing anything like that again ever because of the massive return.
Was that that wasn't Ground Advantage though? You said related to Ground Advantage.
Some people have posed
have to do with it.
Some people I've heard in the community pose the question, has your returns gone up since Ground Advantage kicked in? I can say yes. I can.
What's the correlation? I guess
I don't know the correlation, but it may be coincidence. But I have noticed that before Ground Advantage started, my returns were so minuscule, and then since it kicked in, I'm getting like one a week.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me though. Why different shipping would correlate to a return?
So here's what being
come down there, media mail boy.
I had one return like a month ago.
Media mail boy. Here's what being Rocky Top Picker's going to do, gentlemen. I'm going to drop my 147 in one fell swoop. I'm going to just load the gun and drop them all at the same time.
You should do it and then tell us tomorrow how many sales you had.
What'd you say, Archie?
Don't ever change on my account. I just theory.
Because you're up in the locker room with a stiff upper lip, dude. This is nothing but a digital death pile. Well, Katie, on the door, boys. We're gonna drop them all.
Trust me, I feel like you were ready to give me the towel slap in the booty.
No.
It's the locker room.
Be in the shower.
Let me tell you something, Brandon. To all this kilt money you've got tied up, let me tell you something, son. I'm going to be honest with you. And hey, I love you. And I love you being a part of the locker room. But I would be losing sleep at night knowing that I got that much money tied up.
I haven't listed a single game from the video game buy. I haven't listed any of that.
I'm
good.
You're good.
I'm good.
Okay.
Brandon, I have one piece of advice.
He's not hurting for money. You see that big
chain off Facebook
on there? That big old chain.
What's that?
What is that? A Pokemon card on there? Logan Paul.
No, I almost put the Pokemon in. This is actually. Do you know who that is?
Holy! What do we got? We got Flavor Flav.
I can't.
It's Red Grange. Red Grange, Sport King, Red Grange, rookie.
All right, so
shout out to Carrie, American Arbitrage.
Never
the
heard
Galloping Ghost, and we galloped right past him this week. I played him this week in the Reseller Information Network.
Who? Red Grange
Fantasy League. This is Red Grange.
No, who'd you play in fantasy? Red Grange.
It might as well been because he was a ghost this week. No, I played Carrie. American Arbitrage.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, he's some guy that like plays on TikTok or whatever and pretend like does cards, like sells like $1.50 cards or something. He says, but anyway, we played this week and I had to show him how to win at fantasy football. So,
well, for the
locker room has the bragging rights.
Yeah. The gold. For those just listening to the show, we've been talking about Brandon's big, thick gold chain around his neck, and he's got a plastic cladded ball card casement attached to the chain.
Hit me in the head.
Yeah, it's dangling. But no, gentlemen, this is a spirited conversation.
From the kilt.
Kilt.
Yeah, you need to send us
talking about that in the Trash to Cash.
Yeah, you need to send us out, each of us a kilt, man. We'll put them on. I'll wear one. Shoot, I don't care.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not wearing anything down there anyway. We
really don't wear pants to begin with when we do these shows. Is that All right, what do you got? You got anything else to add about sourcing or?
Nah, I mean, I was just curious, like more so. I know everybody wants bundle deals. Like it's the best way to get the best price, especially if you're looking for inventory and it's good deals, good profits. The thing is like, and Archie, you did a video about the motivation, and I think sometimes we get in that moment and excited in all seriousness. It's exciting. It's awesome to find that buy. But then afterwards, we kind of look at it and there's like, what did I do kind of thing? And as exciting as that buy was, as much profit that is potentially there, it can put you a step backwards of not knowing where to begin. It can put you in that overwhelming feeling or, loss of motivation. And, maybe it's something, good to discuss out there. It's okay to pick and choose or walk away from profit sometimes, so you're not overwhelming yourself. If you already have enough at home, it's okay sometimes. So, and I'm guilty of it. That's why I wanted to bring it up.
I mean, you can always just hire Casey, the Rockstar Flipper. He'll list everything for you.
You can get VAs.
How the hell am I hiring anybody? I got my money tied up in kilts.
I got 2 VAs I can send you.
Aren't your daughters?
No, I have I had 2 VAs in Indonesia that did all my Amazon sourcing for me.
Archie, let me ask you this.
One thing I do want to add though is I don't think you guys touched on it, but at garage sales, you can't be afraid either though to ask. Like, hey, do you have this? Do you whatever your your niche is? Ask. Just be like, hey, video games. I mean, I know the common things everybody asks for: video games, consoles. I guess you can ask for a book, shirts. But don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah,
because you'd be surprised at what people are willing to bring out.
Pro Picker, man, that score was huge of his. That thing was huge.
Yeah, it was. Here's a question for you guys. Here's one, honestly. When you go outsourcing, Archie, you can start. Like when you go to yard sales, garage sales, do you try to conceal the fact that you're a reseller, or are you one of those resellers that's proud and you tell people what you do?
No, I don't. I mean, if it comes up somehow in the conversation, I have no problem doing it, but I'm there to work. I'm there to find stuff. And yeah, I don't make it known. If it comes out, it comes out, but no.
Okay.
It can help you though. In some situations, it can help you. If you're not getting the price,
but again,
if you're not getting the price that you need, you can explain, hey, I'm going to resell these. So I need to have
it could also bite you in the ass. It could bite you too.
I'm not saying to throw it out the right when you walk up,
but again, I know that
it does help.
Yeah. I mean, not even at garage sales, but I've had it work in my favor just from, again, the way I source off the local platforms. There's sometimes when I'll tell people that, hey, I'm a reseller, and guess what? They have more stuff that they bring out that I actually wind up taking off their hands, because you got to realize with garage sales and anybody that sells on the local platform, they're doing it one of 2 reasons. Either A, they need the money, or B, they need the room. And it's the ones that need the room that I'm really after. Well, don't get me wrong. The ones that need the money, you can still get good things at decent prices, but the ones that need the room are the ones that I salivate over the most, because I know I'm going to be able to get a lot more, again, the bang for my buck.
Yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely. Alex, what about you? Are you pretty open with telling people you're a reseller?
It depends. Like I said, it depends the situation. If I'm not getting the deal and it's not cheap enough, like I think I talked about the books that I bought, all the Dungeons and Dragon books. And I told the guy I'm a reseller. I sell books. That's what I do full time. And I don't know anything about these books, so I'm taking a risk even doing the $20 on all these, So he went from 60 and we came down to $20 because I threw out that I'm a reseller and I'm taking a risk on all these. That I need to make a little bit of money, at least get my money back that I invest in them. If I bring them back and research them and they're not worth anything, then at least recoup some of my money. So I think it can help in different situations, and it can help. I think
when it comes to negotiating, you're absolutely right. I have had to use those conversations where, hey, look, I've been doing this, and this is what I encounter when I do the research. I'm taking all the risk. You're right there. But if I'm just out at a normal garage sale, I'm just not offering that information. Sorry, you have the conch again. Sorry.
I have the what?
The conch. Oh, Lord of the Flies. I thought a guy that read books would know.
Did I say? I said I sold books.
Oh.
He didn't read them. He sells them.
What about you, Brandon?
I don't hide it, but I think I'm more awkward when I have the camera and they're like, what's the camera for? Or do you have a YouTube channel or whatever? Because I don't have many subscribers, I only have, I think I'm at 153 or something like that. So when they ask that, I kind of laugh and I'll be like, yeah, I pretend or I try to make content because it's hard to explain, yeah, I'm out here, recording your house in your yard sale, but you go check out my channel and I have no subscribers hardly. And they're probably like, this guy's a loser. But, that's the part that gets me. I don't care if they know I'm a reseller. I mean, I think it's so commonplace now that what does it really matter, right? They're selling the stuff. They've already priced it. They know what they want for it. Whatever I do with it, once I buy it, they
more than half people that go. If you go to a estate sale, more than half are resellers, anyways, and the estate sale company knows that. That's why they're willing to go down in price because they know you're a reseller. They're resellers too. All the people that I've made friends with that own estate companies, they came from reselling on eBay.
Well, if you have a GoPro that's strapped to your chest
and a sign that says "I am a reseller,"
I mean, it's obvious you're kind of a turd in a fishbowl. They know that that's probably what you're doing. Is you're a reseller more than likely.
And I'm not shy to look stuff up either. I mean, it is what it is. If I don't know what it is, I'm gonna look it up.
So you think that's wearing the camera helps or hurts you then?
So do you guys actually look things up in front?
Yeah.
At garage sales? Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, sure do, man.
They don't know what I'm doing. I could be
two sales.
Dude, that's a dead give. When you're at a sale and you see somebody checking their phone, they're a reseller. You can pick them off. You know what I mean?
Well, I was just saying, I've had two sales.
How many cha-chings do you hear when you're at garage sales too?
Yeah, dude. Everybody's checking their phone.
I'm silent, but because
on Whatnot, there's a girl that's going to yard sales and live streaming and doing the Whatnot auctions in her front yard and picking items up and doing bids, and then she buys it. Same thing that Chris is kind of doing at the bins, Flip the World, but that's in front of people's houses. I'm like,
that's organized.
That's a new content. That's a new content idea right there. That's good.
Yeah,
I gotta share.
What are you doing? Like, I don't know. It's pretty weird.
I got to share this story with you since we've been talking about, do you tell people you're a reseller? When I was down at the 127, we went into one of these tent cities, and there was a guy there with his wife. They were an older couple, and they had nothing but tables with flats of nothing but chronologically ordered video games. I mean, the biggest spread of video games I've seen since the whole time I'm down there. So we pull up and walk up in there and start looking around, and, he's got daggone, eBay prices on all of it. And somehow subject came up. They used to sell on eBay, but they quit eBay because they didn't want to pay taxes. And so he saw my camera and he goes, "Are you one of them YouTube resellers?" I went, "I am, sir." He goes, "Well, I don't sell to resellers." And buddy, I had to turn my camera off. We had some choice words. It wasn't pleasant. But here's the simple fact. You guys know this. If anybody having a yard sale or garage sale, they're a reseller too. Right?
Yeah. They bought it and now they're reselling it.
Yeah.
When you said tent city, all I was thinking about was California bums. I'm like, why does this bums have all these video games?
Well,
we call them tent cities in California when I was
there, so. Yeah, I'm aware. Yeah.
But I want to add another tactic. Actually, and I know that he's a viewer of ours, but a guy named Mike Camparelli, that's a good friend of mine, out of New York. What he does is he actually goes to garage sales. He has business cards. And what he does is he leaves it with them and he says, "Hey, when you're done with your garage sale, whatever you have left, contact me. I may be interested in coming and just taking it all off your hands so you don't have to pack it back up and put it in your garage." That's smart.
Yeah.
But
just do that right when
I don't think I can do that because that's just a death pile definitely waiting to happen for me. But some people, it's a good tactic because think about it. those people don't want to put it, back into their garage or their house, and they may just unload all that cheap.
Malkovich bought out the whole Scottish festival.
Well, shoot, yeah. Archie, how many?
They're all new though.
Archie, how many Facebook ads have you seen any where you are where people have leftover yard sale stuff that they just put one money on if you come and get it? I have seen that on Facebook.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't really seek those out, so I don't see, because I mean, you know how Facebook works. It just fills in your feed stuff that you commonly look for. So I don't really see all that, but I have seen people, like, even with storage units, they'll say, hey, $300, come and get it all out, because, they don't want to either take half of it to the dump or load it up. And believe it or not, they sell that stuff quick.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about books, is because no one wants to deal with them because they're heavy and they take up a lot of room.
Yeah.
Like a lot of booksellers will just put ads on these marketplaces and saying, hey, we do free book pickups, and just clear them out. I get a lot of books doing it that way too, because they don't want to move them. They don't want to carry them because they're heavy. So we give them a service by coming and clearing them all out of the way.
Very good. No, but what Mike does, that's awesome. That's an awesome tool to be able to go and do that. It really is, especially if there's still a lot of good stuff there. Gentlemen, we're going to move on to the next thing. Let's talk about a tip of the week. Does one of you have a tip of the week for everybody listening and watching? If you're new to reselling, you might be able to find this useful. Who wants to start one? Tip of the week.
Stop sourcing and list the things you already have. That's my tip.
See, I'm opposite. I think if buys make sense, buy it. I mean,
yeah,
you'll get it listed eventually, but if it makes sense, you just got to do it.
Yeah, if it makes sense.
Yeah, because trust me, I have so much.
You cut out.
Oh, I was being respectful. Actually, I stopped talking. No, but I have so much stuff. I have a garage full. I have a bedroom full, and I have 2 offices just full of stuff that I need to list, but it doesn't stop me. I mean, if something just makes sense, I'm going to go get it, especially if it's something that motivates me, because I know I'm going to be able to just make 4, 5, 10 times my money in 48 hours or so. So I'm still going to constantly be sourcing and looking. So my death pile doesn't stop me.
I would agree on that. And that's part of like my situation. I always, again, when I get home, I look at it and I'm like, what the heck did I do? I got all this other stuff. It gets to a point where you're like, am I even ever going to get to all this? But at the same time, I just started reselling outside of sports cards in January. So, we're sitting here in the, tail end of September. We're not even completed 9 months this year. So I've had to build inventory all along. And I haven't went through the winter months. I don't know, where I'm at in Virginia, it could be mild temperatures all winter, or it could be, 30 inches of snow. We never know here. And so I've been trying to prepare for that. I do have the luxury of a Benz. I do have online estate sales. I do have other estate sales in Northern Virginia. The problem with that is a lot of the estate sales themselves are in Northern Virginia, and it's the bougie, stuff that I don't really know much about. I don't think the sell-throughs are too good. So when I'm going there, I'm trying to find, did the people have digital cameras and stuff like that, because all that fancy stuff I'm not accustomed to. That's way out of my wheelhouse. So that's part of too my buying and why I've bought so much is I feel like you got to keep the shelf stocked. And if you don't have any inventory in your back room, if your shelves start dwindling, then you're going to start running out of inventory and people aren't going to, come back to your store. So that's kind of the way I've looked at it. So,
for me, for if I had to if I'm giving a tip and I like to gear, you guys have seen my videos. I like to really gear my content though, that people that are brand new or they're thinking about getting started. And the simple thing I can say, just to be quick about it, is do something to further your business every day. Now, that's whether you're listing items, whether you're sourcing items, whether you're just reorganizing your crap in your inventory system. Do something every day to further your business, because mentally that helps you stay focused. And this business is a tough one. Everybody's, some people say it's an easy business. It's not. And it's not for everybody either. And people learn that quickly. I think they were in droves. And I think, Archie, you can probably agree to this, that back when COVID hit, the reselling community got flooded because, people had to find ways to make money from home. But since then, I read in the eBay Thrifters chat thread, and I have to bite my lip when I go in there and read those comments, boys. But they said reselling is dying off. And I so wanted to just fire back. And I'm like, number one, if it's dying off, I'm happy about it, because that's less. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's less sellers in the pool, boys. It's better for all of us. So, Archie, how do you feel about that?
I'm okay with people realizing this just isn't for them, because obviously with COVID, absolutely right. This is how people were supplementing their income.
Yeah.
And I don't think at the time it really flooded, because everybody was shopping online and everybody was making great money.
Money was great
with the flood of people that came in and became resellers. But yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. This is a tip, I guess. But if it just isn't working out and you're not paying your bills, don't do it. Just do it. Just do it part-time. Go get a job. And I'm not saying that because I don't want the competition, because again, I think I sell enough unique items and things that people want that I'm not worried about competition as much. But don't beat your head against the wall. You need to make a living, like I think I've told you guys that, I'll even go out on the weekends and do deliveries and stuff and make $300, $400, $500, just to make extra income, but
yeah,
if it's not working, don't.
On that topic, and I don't want dollar amounts, but I'm curious. And I think I put this in our group chat the other day, but nobody answered. So I'm going to ask it here just because I'm curious. Not dollar amount, but item number sold. What is your target goal for the year for items, like your quantity sold?
Never thought about it that way.
Yeah, never thought about that.
Because I live off money, I don't.
Well, everybody talks about that ASP, so that would relate and correlate, right. And then it, I guess, kind of hand in hand, like if you have a decent ASP and a decent quantity sold, your number's going to be high. I'm just curious, and more so, I guess, because this is my first year doing it. So what's that?
ASP fluctuates so much that, you're not, if you're selling the same thing and that's the only thing you're selling, then yeah, that's an easy, then you're talking quantity sold. But I think when you're an everything seller, it's all about, how much do I want to make a month? How much do I want to make a day, a week? It's the dollar amount that way.
Okay, then what is your expectation for fourth quarter?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Okay, again, and you're probably going to call me Scott on this, whoever Scott is. But in my opinion, I don't think that you should be sandbagging, hoarding everything for fourth quarter. I think you should be doing nothing different first, second, and third quarter than you do for fourth. I wasn't
saying that.
Oh, I know.
What is your expectation for fourth quarter sales? Like, what do you expect? What is your goal or expectation for fourth quarter? Not holding back, but
I for me personally, I'm comfortable if I'm making close to 6,000 a month. So if I'm about 18,000 for the quarter, I'm happy with that.
Yep. Just for reference, Archie, that wasn't an insult. Me and Scott used to argue about that subject all the time. That's why I mentioned it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Don't worry about it, bro. But yeah, Alex, what do you say on this? What do you say,
What was even the question?
Brandon?
How much do I want to sell, or my
Two ducks
expectation?
walk into a bar. Oh, wait,
what?
What is your expectation for fourth quarter or your goal?
2 dudes.
My goal is to sell everything that's not a book, so I can totally niche down to books and make this much simpler. So to sell all my toys, because I do hold on to stuff for fourth quarter. I sell toys during fourth quarter. When I did Amazon full time, I still did eBay, but I only sold toys and collectibles for 3 months out of the year. So I don't have like a number in my head. I mean, I'm coming from Amazon where we were selling 32,000 in December. So I don't expect to do that this year. I just want to see that I can get there eventually with eBay. So I'm taking a risk from putting my Amazon business on the back burner. So I can't balance both of them. It just doesn't work.
Let me ask you this, Alex. So in terms of Amazon, when you sell toys, are you getting more of a premium price fourth quarter closer to Christmas?
Yes.
Than you would, let's say, in April.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that makes sense. Then I agree with that. I mean, because we're here to maximize our money, but I think for an everything seller on eBay, there's really not a lot of things that we're going to sell at a premium price at Christmas time, fourth quarter, than we would any other time. Because again, it's kind of goes full circle with your draft bank. You know, if it's not listed, you're not selling it.
But
I don't know.
I think any item will sell for more if the time is right. Like a winter jacket, you can get more out of it. If someone needs a winter jacket when it's snowing outside than when it's 100 degrees outside. The same with toys. You know, I have Legos that I bought 2 years ago that I've been sitting on that are going to be worth 4 times what I paid for them.
Right.
Because I'm waiting on them.
Seasonal, I get. Seasonal makes sense. Mm-hmm. But we're talking fourth quarter, and we're talking fourth quarter because of Christmas.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for me, again, Amazon aside, I just don't think we should be doing anything different for fourth quarter than we should be doing any other quarter of the year.
Mm-hmm. Except for the obvious that we need to intensify our listings more. I mean, we want to put more product out to give us better opportunity for sales.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just my goal, is to get everything listed.
But build up to that, you know, I mean, because again, in the summer slowdown, you know, I've always said in summer slowdown, it's so easy for people just to give up, be lazy, and not list. But I'm telling you, if you just keep listing, I mean, you're going to get the sales just because you're listing it, possibly. Mm-hmm. But guess what? Come fourth quarter, you're ramped up and you got plenty of items instead of waiting till as close to fourth quarter as you can and getting it listed.
Very true.
I'm going to step off the soapbox for a second.
Well, so speaking on that, as far as fourth quarter for me, the only thing that I've really held back is like what Alex said with jackets. I've sourced jackets, like going to the bins and stuff. If I found jackets in there, I was buying them. And I wasn't putting them up then. I have held them back for this time. You know, long sleeve shirts, I've done that. I also, if I've come across Department 56 or Lamax stuff, I was buying that stuff and holding it back because, well, it's Christmas villages, right? Nice to get those. And we're actually putting them up now because that way, when it gets into that October, November period, those are up and ready to go. But I'm using Terapeak to kind of price that November pricing where it was peak last year to kind of not, you know, sell myself short right now. But outside of that, you know,
but why not just still go ahead and list that? Because here's the thing, whether it's laying on a shelf of items that you've already listed or it's lying in a death pile, it's still in your house or storage room, whatever.
That's a simple answer. I just said I have.
For me, yes, the likelihood of you selling, let's say, Lemax Spooky Town stuff in September and October are greater. I get that. But if you have it in January and that's when you got it, that stuff still will sell at the same price. You can choose not to sell it. If somebody doesn't, if somebody sends you an offer and you're not comfortable with it and you know that you're going to be able to get more, then don't accept the offer. Just sit on it. But there are still going to be plenty of people that will still buy that item at the price that you're going to still sell it come September, October, in my opinion.
Well, it's a simple answer. Why haven't I listed it yet? And why did I push it to the side and wait? Because I had so much other stuff that I could list ahead of it. And I learned early on, like my oldest item that I have sourced that is in my store currently is actually a tea light candle holder with a nativity scene on it. That is my oldest item. Why is that still sitting there? Because I listed it in late January and nobody's been looking for a nativity set all year. So that's my oldest item. So I've sitting here, we've had a discussion about death pile, and I've said, I got a massive, proud death pile. There's been other items throughout the year that made more sense to put up. Now I know I'm in that period. I need to push those, Christmas villages up. So those are now my priority, right? So I've just had to shift. It's kind of like Walmart stocking the shelves. They're not putting Easter up in October. They have what needs to go on the shelves at certain times. That's how I've been managing my inventory and my death pile. It's not about, well, this isn't going to sell now. It's this other stuff's going to sell better during this period. And I'm only one person. My wife doesn't get to help me as much. So I have to utilize my time the best I can and get up what I can and what I think is going to sell. As for summer solo down, that's a topic that I would love for us to discuss at one point, because being my first summer, I don't know what this summer slowdown deal is, because if you break it into the 3-month period for June, July, August, my sales weren't any different. So
yeah,
I don't know.
We'll put that with the conspiracy episode we do.
True that. I can say the same thing, Brandon. The summer slowdown, I didn't experience that. I mean, my sales were really great this summer.
Yeah, I'm happy.
So I don't, like you said, Archie, that'll go into the pile of conspiracy theories we can talk about. But
I just started listening consistently during the summer slowdown. So I've been doing sales, so that makes me hopeful that it will get better. Yeah, I know there is a huge difference for summer on Amazon as far as Christmas goes.
Right. All right, gentlemen. Next segment, we talk about real quickly the find of the week, or since the last time we aired. We got what good find has each of you found?
So since we're talking about death piles, my find of the week is from my death pile in my garage today, because I totally forgot that I still had more of these. So this is my find of the week, because I'm happy I still have more of these. Is this throwing up gnome?
That is awesome.
Freaking awesome. So I was like super stoked that I found this today. So I sold 2 of these already, and there's only one listed for like, I don't know, $19 online.
Man. That's keepable right there.
I know. I sold 2 of them already, and this will just go on the shelf until it sells. I think I put it in my draft bank today.
What year was that?
The year? I don't know. I think I sold in the past, though. You could probably get like $25 for this thing. Especially since there's only one on there right now, and one has sold. Let's see a date on here. But yeah, that's my find. That's my find of the week right there.
For the listeners, hold that up there, Alex. We are looking at a toy garden gnome that is puking up a rainbow, which is into a pot of gold. That's unique. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, so if you scan this one, they actually have ones like sitting on the toilet and different ones that this brand puts out. That's pretty awesome.
That's cool. All right. That's his find. What about you, Archie? What'd you find since the last time we met?
Actually, I'm going to talk about something that I found that isn't for me to resell. It's actually going to help my business. And I've been looking for the right one, and I finally found it, because I don't really list a lot of clothes, but this is going to help me now list more clothing. But I found a draft table, like for drafting, where you can kind of put it at an angle, but I found the one that's at the perfect height. And then obviously I can put it at whatever angle. And I'm telling you, I listed a whole bunch of vintage NFR jackets after I got this drafting table.
Yeah.
But for me, it's definitely going to be a game changer. Because again, I haven't listed a lot of clothing because I'm the typical put it on a hanger and you just can't get it right and it just droops.
Yeah.
But with this now, I will be able to actually list more clothing. Clothing is easier to ship. I mean, it is easier to photograph list, in my opinion. It's a game changer for me. I'm not going to change to all clothing, but that is my find of the week. I am so happy that I found this because it's going to make life easier when it comes to listing clothing and maybe other things.
I've actually been looking for one of those. So that's great that you found that. And yeah, I mean, clothes, I've got to
check this out too. I found it from actually buying something else to resell from this person. So I went in and I saw that she had that drafting table. And I'm like, I'll tell you what, would you take? And I wound up picking that up only for $50. She had it advertised for $100.
Jeez.
And the way I bundled everything that I got from her. So basically that's paid for free because I'm going to, just off one of the things I'm going to sell, that's profit right there.
Sweet.
On that item to pay for it. So yeah. But anyway, sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's a great story on what it means to keep your eyes peeled when you're on a pick.
Yeah.
Because picking up that table, I would kill for one of those. And, the drafting table, for those listening, is where you can lift it up on an angle where it's facing more up closer to you, where you can take better photographs of your garments and stuff. Dude, I love selling clothes. When I started reselling, I didn't want to touch them. But I'm telling you, the vintage T-shirts, the sports jerseys, the old vintage starter jackets, dude, I've been dropping them in my store like crazy lately, and I love that stuff. But
and it just photographs so much better laying down.
Flat. When it lays flat, yeah, you can get all the wrinkles and runs out of it. Yeah.
I'm trying to clean up my death pile so I can do a flat lay in my garage. But I'm just going to do like the wood because my table, it doesn't fit clothes on it. It's too small.
Yeah.
So I think that it was Malkovich. Don't you have the easel, the paint easel?
Yeah, I have. So I bought a paint easel and then I built I bought some like textured wood from Lowe's and put it all together and then kind of built a platform to put in it. But I'll be honest, it's nice, but I would rather have like a flat lay, an actual flat lay.
Mm-hmm. Well,
is that a mold of your body there, Ben?
You brought that up, Archie. I wanted to, what I do in my white photo booth, which is over here to my left. I found these on.
I want to see all the molds.
I found these on Marketplace, and this is a men, of course. I've got a ladies, and then I've got a children one that I put my shirts and stuff on, and it's on one of these little spindle hooks. So when I need to take a picture of the back, I just spin it around and take a picture of the back. But like you, though, the difference between using this and the flat top table model is it's got wrinkles and runs in it, and sometimes some of the graphic gets hidden. But to lay it flat on a project table is definitely a better way to do it. But I would show the lady because she's kind of anatomically correct, but this is supposed to be a family show. You know what I mean?
I used to have a couple of mannequins, but I left them behind when I moved.
Single?
But anyway, my find of the week, gentlemen, is this.
I thought he grabbed a rock.
This
it was going to be a wedding ring.
This is a solid silver Tiffany & Company bangled bracelet. And this was in my storage unit. And this actually come from my ex-wife. She left this behind. So guess what? I am going to resell it. And I had it appraised at $2,400. But here's the big question, and I want to get your all's opinion on this. If I put this, authenticated already that it's Tiffany & Company, put this on eBay, and some idiot wants to return it, I was sweating over $450 return. Imagine this baby being returned. What would you do?
Or saying they didn't receive it.
So I don't make decisions based on if it's going to get returned or not. I mean, I think that if you do that, you're just kind of wasting your energy and
sure,
and you're going to get an ulcer. But
Well, it is a high dollar value item, you see.
Then just let it sit on your shelf and don't list it. You know, I mean, that's my point is, I don't think you need to worry about that. I mean, if it comes back as a return, then you have recourse. You know, I mean, you have to take it as a recourse. You can put that you don't accept returns, but you know that, you know, for some reason, you know, if it's remorse, you don't have to take it. But if it comes back, I mean, you're still pretty much covered. You know, if they send you back a rock, then obviously you need to come up with plan B, and you'll need to get eBay involved. And worst case scenario, well, probably best case scenario for some people is you can use the 50. Well, no, actually you wouldn't be able to use the 50% reduction tool, because you would have to accept returns to actually be able to do the 50% return. So actually I take it back. I would actually accept returns, but buyer pays, so that you're protected with the 50% reduction. Okay. Because as a top rated seller, you don't have to offer free returns. You just have to offer 30-day returns.
Buyer pays. Yeah. That's what I do.
As anything less than top rated, you have to offer free returns to get that 50% reduction. But I would just do that. And then if they send you back a rock, then this is when I would test how good is IC3, because I have heard that if you do file an IC3, they probably won't do anything with it. But if you show that proof to eBay, then they may go ahead and satisfy you by giving you the full amount back. And
this is a mute topic.
Them the full amount.
You're right.
This is a mute topic. That's jewelry. That should go through the eBay authenticity guarantee.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Once it does that, then
it would actually.
There is no returns. That's final sale. If it goes through the eBay authenticity guarantee, that's final sale. I just pulled it up. Yeah, $500 or more from our ever-expanding list of top brands, including Tiffany and Company. So if you put that up and you put it up at $2,400, that will go through eBay authenticity guarantee. As long as it's authenticated, gets to the buyer, it's final sale. Anything that goes through authenticity guarantee is final sale.
Did you know that, Archie?
I did not.
I did not either.
But regardless, everything I said is still not a move, for anything else. But
it is still
good to know on jewelry. Thanks for that.
It's jewelry, watches, shoes, cards, sports cards. What else is there? There's all kinds of stuff they have now that is the authenticity thing.
Well, knowing that, then why don't you have it listed right now? Then
I'm going to
been listing that while he was talking.
Yeah, tell me about it, man. But no, Archie, that is a good point, though, to talk about that. You know, the 50% reduction is still valid points.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's still valid there. Brandon, do you have a find of the week other than your kilts?
Well, that wasn't this week. Those I found a long time ago. Those were months ago.
Sorry, dude.
No, the only thing the only place I went this week was at a estate sale, and it was actually a lady had to put her mom in a nursing home and was cleaning the house out. And there was a lot, like this lady had a lot of older cooking wear and all that kind of stuff. I would say the coolest piece is, I'm not sure what it's worth. It was just cool. It looks like an oil lamp, but it's actually an electric bulb lamp. But it's from the early Ford V8 club or something like that. I didn't notice that until I got it home. I seen the V8 logo on it, but it's actually for Ford. So I don't know what it's worth or anything, but it was
a Ford Auto Club lamp.
It's early V8 Ford. Ford Members Club or something like that. And it's a lamp that looks like an old oil lamp, but it's actually an electric regular lamp. So it was really cool.
Did you comp it out yet, or?
I can't find nothing like it.
Okay.
So.
All right. Let's move on to the sale of the week, or since the last time we aired, gentlemen. Archie, you want to start us off with your sale since the last show?
Yeah, mine would actually be my find of the week that I said last week, and that's the ProFlight yoke that I picked up for $40. I wound up piecing it out, but sold it all. It wound up making $350.
That's good, man.
So yeah, I mean, anything that could, if I can get it flipped within less than a week, I'm happy.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. What about you, Alex? Did you ever find it?
No, I haven't found it yet. So I'm a little mad about that. It's my sell of the week, but I need to get pumped up for this one. This is a good one. It is the Richard Simmons Never Say Diet book. You see that right there? That I can't find it. I'm still pumped. I will find it though. It sold for a whopping $6. I took a best offer.
What's funny though is
$6.
Isn't Richard Simmons missing too? Nobody's seen him in like 8 years.
Yeah, I don't know,
This
dude.
is fitting.
What?
Maybe he's got it.
He's missing.
He's gone MIA, dude. Seriously.
No wonder the book's gone too.
Off the radar.
Yeah, my SKU system is not working apparently. So I got to look for that. But I found my weights.
That's awesome, dude.
That's my sell of the week. Not really, but to the people that I pissed off, apparently last week was selling Bibles. I did sell 3 more Bibles last weekend, so that's good.
That's awesome.
I thought to look up, if we're going by price, I would have to look something up, but I thought it was funny that the Richard Simmons book even sold. It's probably in my duds because I probably think, why am I wasting my time with $9.99? And so it's probably mixed in with the other books.
Gotcha. What about you, Brandon? What's your sale, bro?
I'm going to pick my sale of the week and give a shout out to my wife because she actually picked this up at a yard sale. Truthfully, I know she bought it because she wanted to keep it. But then she looked up how much they were. She bought it not knowing what they were worth. But she loves the Polar Express. She's made our kids watch that every year. They're now, my daughter will be 18 in November, and my son he'll be 23 in December. And every year since they were little, at Christmas, she's made them watch Polar Express and have hot chocolate when it gets to that part of the movie and everything. And she found this Hallmark Polar Express cup and saucer set. And she picked those up, paid $2.50 each on them, got them both for $5. And she was very excited because she has now sold both of them for $100 each. So she turned 5 into 200. So little bolo there. It comes in a little round blue container. The lid looks like a hat box almost. And inside is a saucer and a cup. Polar Express. They sell for good money. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. I guess mine would be the Hallmark keepsake ornaments, which I've had in storage. I used to collect those. And, my favorite Christmas movie is Christmas Vacation, and with Cousin Eddie and all that. So every time Hallmark each year come out with a Hallmark Christmas ornament from that movie series, I bought it, stored it back. And I forget how old that movie is. I know it's like, 2009 or even before then, probably, when they started the ornaments. But I sold one called Squirrel. You remember in the movie when the squirrel jumped out of the tree and hopped on Clark's back? Well, they made an ornament. And I listed a bunch of them. And that one sold for $47 plus shipping, which has been in storage. I've not even pulled it out of the box in years. So that's another little line of selling what you have, because those have been in my other storage building for years. So that would be my sale of the week right there. All right. We have last show, guys. Are you okay, Archie?
I think so.
Okay, brother. I was worried. We didn't have comments last week.
So quiet. My throat's getting dry.
Okay. We didn't have comments last week, gentlemen, as you know, because we were brand new first episode, but I've got Archie that's going to share a viewer comment that we've received on our first episode.
Okay. This is from the Lego Bug. Biscuit Butt is my favorite podcaster. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. That was Love Mom.
I love
Never
the
mind.
Beard
Sorry.
King.
That was from Mom. So Mr. or Miss Lady, the Lego Bug says, very good, my friends. It is so refreshing to hear a reseller podcast talk about reselling. We have a group of pickers that work together up here in New York. We source for each other inside our niche, and we all listen to reselling content and discuss it because we want to learn more. It has become more and more difficult to learn from some of the old favorites. They have gone away from reselling and are trying to become some other kind of entertainment. It isn't what we are looking for. Great first effort. You will undoubtedly get some subs from our group. Thanks. Awesome. That was my first time reading that.
It's awesome.
Almost brought it. Wow, that was pretty cool. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is cool. And, you know, as Alex coined the phrase and Ben mentioned it in the beginning, you know, it's not all seriousness here if you can't tell. We want to have fun, but we also do want to bring some conversation or serious infotainment or I don't like the word education because, again, I'm not a teacher. We have a teacher in the reseller community. He can do the educating. But yeah, I think between all four of us, we all, you know, we're all in different parts of the country. We all do things different ways. We all have different personalities even. And I think we can all bring something from each little corner of the screen here or, you know, microphone to the listeners that can be not only fun, but hopefully, you know, help a little bit. So.
Absolutely. You know, I wanted to follow up what you just said. You know, here's the facts, guys. There is no right or wrong way to do this reselling business. Everybody does it differently. And, you know, it is your own race and this is your individual journey. And we just come together to share our shared experiences of how it's been for each one of us, to each one of you listening and watching here on YouTube, by the way. So if you haven't done so, we hope you'd smash that thumbs up button there and hit that subscribe. And we'd appreciate it if you joined the journey with us and come on in each week as we go into the locker room every Thursday night with these great, fantastic resellers that we have here in the room right now. And we cannot wait to see each and every one of you next time. And anything else you guys got before we shut her down?
Leave a comment again on the next video. Maybe if you have some questions that we can answer, that would be cool. Get some questions going.
Absolutely.
Put F's in the chat for Carrie, American Arbitrage.
F for what, though?
I don't know. That's what everybody says. Put F's in the chat.
What's the
I don't
F?
know what it means. It's just like the whole thing on your comment. When I put your sus, I don't know what the heck it means. I'm just trying to be a cool kid and fit in.
Oh my goodness.
My daughter says that stuff. Put F's in the chat. You're sus. I don't know what it means, man. I'm just trying to be cool. I don't know
You're
TikTok
cool
and
with
real
your chain.
all of this.
Stay cool.
Man.
All right, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Ben Rocky Top Picker. We have Archie Buttery Biscuit Bud in the house, Beard King Picker, and Mr. Malkovich Brandon 540 Flip saying, go out there and crush it. And we'll see you back here next Thursday.